What's up, Hijinks fans? Welcome back to our podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about a little something different. We're going to be talking about how Disney and how other companies alike treat their guests and how that can impact reoccurring business, how it can impact customer reviews, how it makes the customer feel, a little bit of everything. So we just want to talk about basically customer service, how we handle customer service, and maybe some good ways and maybe some not so good stories that we've heard.
Yeah, I actually, this is a topic I really wanted to talk about. I was at a seminar and I saw somebody speak on this topic, and it really hit me right where it needed to make me understand, just how to think outside the box when it comes to our customers. There's definitely common sense when it comes to customer service. Be nice, be professional. There's the common sense stuff. But Disney, for example, is a company that they're always pushing forward. They're always thinking outside the box. There's so much stuff at Disney behind the scenes that you don't even see that's there to make your experience better. So this guy that I saw speak, his example happened to be, Disney finds a problem and they say, okay, instead of that being a problem, let's figure out a way to find a solution. And their biggest problem in their park at that time was waiting times and lines. Every amusement park ever, you go, you get on the roller coaster, get on the log ride. The popular rides in the park are going to have half hour, 45 minutes, 2 hours wait time. That's why, of course, Disney put in the Fast Pass feature, which definitely helped. But another thing they did that this is what grabbed my attention was they said, okay, instead of just making it a line where they just stand, let's make the line an actual experience. Let's make that part of the ride and make it interactive and make it entertaining. So you're not watching your watch when you're standing in line saying, we're wasting so much time. We're standing here doing nothing. So that's why I wanted to talk about this topic today, because I think there's a lot of outside the box thinking that a lot of us are missing, and how we can solve problems for our clients in creative ways.
Well, and solve them before they become a problem is another thing. Just how to, and that's not the only thing Disney does. Even just talking about the lines, they put up like from this point on, it's 45 minutes. From this point on, it's like, how do you communicate with your customers also, besides providing that experience? Kyle?
Yeah. So just kind of diving in on what we do to kind of help. I'm a big audio guy. And so my thing is, and these two know for sure, I'm sending them videos through Messenger and Snapchat and everything else all the time. I'm always figuring out ways that I can make audio sound better. I can fill a room better. I can do stuff like that. So I always carry additional speakers, obviously for backup, but I also try to do, I think this room would sound a little bit better, especially for toasts and dinner music and stuff, if I just put a little satellite speaker over here, or if I just put a little thing over here. It's nothing that I ever charge brides and grooms for, because I don't know if I'm going to need it or not. Even if I do that consultation beforehand, if I go into a room, sometimes you're like, nope, definitely need one over here, definitely need something over here. But sometimes you get in a room and you're just like, no, I think it'll be fine. But then you actually see the way that they have it packed, and it's like, oh no, it's not going to reach back to that corner like I wanted to, or they change the layout. And so I'm always doing stuff like that. And so I bought a wireless system through Sennheiser a couple months ago. Well, actually last year. And I take it at every event. And to be honest, I probably use it 80% of my gigs just for my thing. Again, it's just something to be prepared. I'm
Right.
just helping that experience a little bit better for them. I'm helping the experience for the people in the back of the room. Again, it's not something I always do, but I would say anymore, I'm using it more and more just because it makes me feel better, knowing that their guests can hear better, that their guests are going to have a better experience at the event because of that. Actually, the last wedding I did in February, the last one of February that I did, I had one, and it was the first time I'd actually got a compliment. Oh, I've been to so many weddings in this place, and I could never hear it in the back, but I could hear it so well. What did you do? Like, they didn't know that speaker was back there. I was like, oh, I just threw up a little speaker back there, and like, oh, that helps so much.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was just a little thing that, again, not everybody does do, but it's something that I kind of do to just make their experience better.
Right. And what about this for both of you? What about like, okay, so we talked about day of, adding a speaker, different things like that. What about during the planning process? Like from the first contact up until the wedding day, how's the customer service? How do you make it an experience past that point?
One thing that I like to do with all my clients, I talk about a few different things. First, I tell them I'm not just your DJ. Like, I have a lot of wedding experience. I'm not an officiant. I'm not a florist, but I've seen the good and the bad, and I can just share my experiences with you. So one thing we talk about if we have an outdoor ceremony, for example, is aisle runners. Like, every bride, for some reason, thinks they need that aisle runner.
Right.
Let's think for just a second. Okay. Your wedding party goes down the aisle. Your ushers or two of your groomsmen, whatever, they pull out this aisle runner. It's beautiful. And then just before you go down the aisle, a gust of wind comes, pulls that aisle runner up. So your guests want to help. So they straighten it all out. They put their feet on it so it doesn't blow up again. Now you're able to walk down the aisle. But let's go 2 months later, you get your wedding photos back. And there's a picture of you walking down the aisle, and all of your guests' feet are on that aisle runner holding it down.
Right.
Like,
you don't think about that.
Yeah.
And another thing I talk about, and I also check on, is in my experience, the number one thing that's at the bottom of everybody's list that they don't think about. I don't think wedding planners think about it. Brides don't think about it. Utensils for the cake cutting.
Yep.
I mean, that's the least of everybody's worries. And I mean, rightfully so. There's so many other things. But what happens if me as the DJ, I call over, oh, let's cut this beautiful cake. I mean, maybe this cake costs $2,000. We go over to cut this gorgeous cake, and all of a sudden you're like, I don't have anything. Then we're all in a really awkward situation.
Right.
So that's something I mention in planning meetings. Maybe you can get a nice engraved set. Maybe you can appoint somebody to make sure that knife is there on the table. But I also check when I set up. I do a little walk through the venue. I walk by the cake table, make sure something's there. And if it's not, I'll go to the venue and say, hey, do we have a little butter knife? Or a lot of the venues even have their own cake cutting utensils set.
Yeah.
So that's one way that I kind of eliminate problems before they happen.
Well, and another customer service thing. So 2 examples. So I actually had a meeting tonight with a couple, and rescheduling and different things like that. But we were talking about one of their ideas. And I said, hey, I've done that in the past. This is how it worked. This is how it went down. We can still do it, but this is how it went down. And they said, oh, well, we've never had anybody we've never heard from anybody how it actually works. Thank you. Like, we'll rethink that, and, we'll maybe change it a little bit and do something different. So warning somebody before, something happens, fixing that problem before it arises. Another one is I used to sell cell phones, and tablets and internet and everything like that. So, someone would come in, hey, we see you have a free tablet. And I was that honest guy, just, hey, maybe you don't want that tablet. Why don't, if you spend $100, you can get a much better product. So, warning people so they don't have a problem down the road. So I think during the planning process, at least for me, is I kind of want to play that devil's advocate and just say, hey, have you thought about this? Hey, have you thought about this? And a lot of times it's like you become that friend that's always like the parent figure, that friend that's always like, hey, well, you should think about this. So all of a sudden you become from just a DJ, just an entertainer to, hey, that guy has my back. That guy wants the best for us. So I think that's, for me, that's how I offer, a little bit different customer service as opposed to like, yeah, we can do that. We can do this. I still say we can do this, but I also warn against the negatives.
Yeah, I do kind of, the same thing you guys do is just contact me if you have any questions, DJ related or not. I've DJ'd 250, 300 weddings, but that means I've also been to 300 weddings. I've seen cake cuttings go wrong. I've seen, toast go weird. I've seen, all the different things that we can think of. And
Right.
Those are the kind of things, and that's some of the things that I bring up a lot. Another one that I try to bring up a lot, just so that they're aware of it. Do you have a host and hostess that tell people what to do when they're coming in? Do you have somebody to dismiss tables? Do you want us to do that? Like getting those things together beforehand so that they know going in, hey, this is what's going to happen. We have our expectation. And then I know going into, okay, when I come in, I need to really talk to the caterer. I'm going to do that anyway. But then I need to talk to them. Hey, by the way, we're dismissing. Is there a certain way you want us to do that? Is there a certain way you want them to go through the line? Things like that. So I think that's a really,
just helping with the planning process. I mean, I think that's customer service, and much like Disney does, that creates that environment of you're not just a customer to us. You're a part of. For me, I always say you're a part of our family now. Like that's what it is. I now I know your birthday. Like now, I mean, it's more than just being friends on Facebook. Now you see everything. Now they moved to a new house. They got a new car. Like it's all of that. And I think that extends even beyond what we do. That extends to businesses, our realtor. I know, Jesse, you've talked about it when you guys bought a house that all of a sudden you wake up one morning, you have a pie on your front doorstep. It's going above and beyond. And I think that helps a lot with getting return customers and, just good reviews and overall good experiences.
Yeah, I agree.
Helps with, referrals too.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Well, Kyle, you know what time it is? Uh-oh. Here you go. Dude, Jesse, we should have you freestyle over that sometime.
All right. Who's ready for some trivia?
Jesse.
Okay.
Pick Jesse first.
All right. We'll go with Jesse first. We got 5 questions for each of you today. So,
Music off.
Okay.
there you go.
Here we go.
There it is.
There we go. You guys
All right,
don't.
Jesse. Oh, you got a softball on this one. Who invented the telephone?
Alexander Graham Bell.
Ding, ding.
I quit.
Very
I'm
nice.
I'm leaving. Good job.
Yours isn't that much harder, Joe.
Okay.
Okay, now we're looking for this not in Fahrenheit, in Celsius.
The answer is 0.
Okay. At what temperature does water boil?
Well, you see, okay, so there was this guy. I'm just kidding. I'm going to say 100.
That is correct.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Give yourself the applause there. All right.
So many fans.
Jesse, you got kids, right? You got kids.
Oh, yeah.
What did the crocodile swallow in Peter Pan?
Ooh.
Hook's hand. I mean, isn't that why he's Hook?
Technically, he bit it off. They never said that he ate it.
Oh.
He bit it off. But what he did swallow was an alarm clock. Wow. That was a pretty good one. Now, I'm not going to lie. I thought about just giving you that, too, because it's kind of a gray area.
I remember the alarm clock. You got me.
Yeah. All
right. I'm ready.
Okay. Oh, this is not hard. Who wrote Julius Caesar and Macbeth?
Oh, well, that was definitely Shakespeare.
Yep. Good job.
Fun fact. I can't
Okay.
actually. I'm just kidding. Okay, next, Jesse, your turn.
Okay. All right.
Kyle's laughing
Ooh.
already. I guess this is probably a good one.
Now I did the random ones again, and you got another easy one. How many states are there in the United States of America?
50.
Yes. You'd be surprised how many people get that wrong, though.
Well, I didn't. I thought you'd like throw me some technicality with Alaska and Hawaii.
No, they're states. I didn't say how many are in the contiguous United States. I
Exactly.
said that.
Exactly.
Hey, but good thinking, because I would do that because I am that guy.
You are that guy. Or you could have
I
like
am that guy.
included Guam or Puerto Rico or whatever.
All right.
I'm ready.
Ooh, Joe, you got this.
I got this.
What year did the Spanish Civil War end?
1816.
Is not the correct answer we were looking for. I apologize.
Thought I had it. I'm pretty sure I had it. I was just confident. So
1939. Just a little off.
That was a random number. He just threw it out.
Yeah, he did.
Didn't even.
He did.
no, I had no idea. History is not my strong suit.
Okay, well, good, because now we're going to Jesse for history.
Okay.
Great.
All right, Jesse. When did the First World War start?
Oh, I know this one.
1942.
Would have been a really good answer if we were looking for when about the time the Second World War ended, but that's not what we were looking for. The First World War started in 1914.
No kid. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it was World War II. I was thinking of.
Yeah,
You're definitely
and you were looking at the end because it actually ended in 43. But hey, you did great.
not even kidding right now.
My grandpa was in the Marines in the World War II, so I kind of like project how old he is to the years, and yeah.
All right.
Property.
So, Joe, you like anatomy, correct?
Well, duh. I'm a doctor almost.
Yeah, sound doctor.
Yeah.
So, where is the smallest bone in the body?
Well, the smallest bone in your body is definitely in your ear.
It is.
Yes.
The answers to all Joe's questions, except
Funny, I know all the answer to Jesse's questions.
You knew.
except that one.
I'm surprised you know that much about the Spanish Civil War. Okay,
All right, last one, last round.
last round here.
We're tied.
All right, Jesse, which is the only mammal that cannot jump?
A whale.
Ooh,
Oh, come on.
That's not right.
that's not the answer that's on here, but that's a good answer.
But whales
That's a
jump out.
great answer. I'm going to give him that because that's true. And I didn't even think about that. And I think about stupid stuff all the time. I'm going to give him that. But the actual answer that this one had is actually the elephant. An elephant can't, apparently elephants can't jump.
I'll be the judge of that.
Been to a
So Joe is saying that if he doesn't get this next one, that didn't count.
Exactly what I'm not.
Okay.
Not.
All right. And again, this goes by you're a doctor of music. This one has to do with music, so you should be good.
Oh, good. Yep.
What nationality was Chopin?
Oh. Well, you see, me and my homie Chopin. go way.
Exactly.
Chopin is definitely from the Philippines.
Not even a little close. He is extremely Polish.
Oh, that was my second guess.
Well, I figured it was your second guess, but
Joe's not up on his polka music.
he is apparently not up.
I should have been able to
Chopin.
phone a friend.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Kyle. That's all the time we have, unfortunately, for Jeopardy Day. But Jesse did win this week. I'll try harder next time. A little dance party. All right. Enough of that. Lost. Wasn't it?
This gooey show of emotion.
Yep, I forgot.
All right, there it is.
I forgot that sometimes you still play. It still plays.
He's got problems with that music stuff.
Yeah.
Luckily, it doesn't do that for a living.
We should ask a DJ to do it. Yeah,
We
can
should.
we take a second? And I know we talked about this before, but like, look at this. It's like perfect.
Your head is just as round as that thing.
Yeah, I know. It actually looks like. Oh, I don't know. That's kind of cool.
So we're going to get off of Joe's round head, and we're going to get back on the topic of, customer experience, customer satisfaction. And I came across an article the other day that I wanted to share on this topic, and it's 10 common wedding disasters. 10 things that happen quite often, and maybe some ways to avoid them, or maybe find an alternative. And then we're going to backtrack, and I want to ask you guys about a few specific situations and how you maybe excel or make the customer experience better in certain situations.
Okay.
So these 10 wedding disasters, I'm going to go through them quick. The first one is waking up with a blemish or a pimple. So a bride on her wedding day doesn't get much worse than that. Like, talk about worst nightmare, So what they said is avoid using new chemicals or new creams, new products the month of your wedding, because you don't know, maybe you might have a reaction to that.
That's really smart.
Also, new medicine.
New medicine.
Ollie and I were talking about that new medicine, especially with, taking medicine for anxiety or headaches, or, some people take birth control or anything like that. Getting all that stuff switched like a month before your wedding. First of all, for a mental state, not good. Second of all, you don't know how your body's going to react to it.
Yep. The second one is, and we talked about this a little bit before, but vendor or friender, vendor, cancel last minute. We hear this all the time. Way to avoid that, of course, hire a professional. But no matter how professional they are, make sure you have a contract to protect yourself.
Sure.
If it is a friend, it might sound really weird, but it's nice just to get something in writing that says they're going to be there.
Yeah. That way it covers you. And then if you do incur some expenses, they potentially have to help pay for some of the,
Right.
like just to cover yourself. Yeah.
So 3, zipper breaks or a dress rips. The only solution they had for this really was buy quality, the cheap dresses, the cheap stuff. But I think I have my own solution. Maybe have a pouch of safety pins or needle and thread. They also say, of course, buy in the proper size. Don't think you're going to be 2 sizes smaller by the time your wedding comes.
Yeah.
Buy your size.
Or if something happens and one of the 3 of us are your DJs, come to us and say, hey, do you have an emergency kit? And we probably will be able to help you.
Yep.
4, bad weather with no backup plan. We've all seen this. Happens quite a bit. We're in the Midwest. Outdoor weddings are a thing. Backup, you have to have an indoor solution. It might not be the best. It might be a barn. It might be a shed. But have somewhere you can go in case it rains, in case the wind really. Otherwise, basically, everybody's going to leave your wedding.
And I think a backup for your backup. And the reason I say that is last year I had a wedding and they were supposed to have it outside, and it was supposed to rain the whole time. It was supposed to rain like the whole week before. So they're like, we're not going to do it outside. We're going to move it inside. Well, then a tornado took down their wedding venue.
Oh no.
So now they're like, backup for your backup. I'm like, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
tough. I mean, it shouldn't go to that extreme, but to have a backup for your backup is a great idea. Especially for guys. I've seen this a lot. Shoes. Bring another pair of shoes. Yeah, for guys, especially. Girls always bring shoes, but guys usually don't think about it. You step in a puddle, dude, your sock's going to be wet for the whole night. So
right.
bring extra shoes.
5, receiving the wrong flowers and hating them. This is something I've never honestly thought of. I'm not part of this, but evidently it happens quite often that people get the wrong flowers, or maybe they just don't look like what they ordered. So the advice is be very, very precise with your florist or your decorator, whoever's going to be doing on your vision. Make sure they know exactly what your vision is. But in the unfortunate circumstance you don't get what you ordered, take a lot of pictures, especially with live flowers. Take them right away before the flowers wilt and stuff, so that you can prove that you didn't get what you ordered.
Yeah.
Number
Yeah, I've never thought of that one. That's a great one.
Yeah,
I never. Also, if they're dead, if you have dead ones upon arrival, I would say take pictures right away.
Yep. So 6, if a car breaks down. So we're talking about a car, usually transportation, maybe a party bus. I've definitely had a wedding where a party bus broke down.
Can I share a story?
Yep.
It'll be real quick. Okay. I'm at a wedding last year, hot in the summer. Okay. They were farmers. The groom was from a huge farming family. They get a call. Their ceremony and reception are at the same place. So they're going to leave the reception on a party bus, go drive around, bar hop, come back. Well, their ceremony, the best man's phone rings during the ceremony, which is a big no-no. And so the groom turns around and goes, dude, answer it. Like, it must be an emergency. So he answers it, and they're mic'd up, of course. And so I was going to turn the mic off, and I thought, oh, this might be good. So I leave the mic on, and you hear, oh, okay, yeah, call him. Yeah. Okay, bye. And so nobody knew. Come to find out, their party bus had broke down. Well, they're huge farmers, so they washed out a hog hauler, like a hog trailer, completely washed it out, and that was their party bus. They drove around town in a hog hauler. So have a backup plan.
Got to do what you do.
Maybe clean that out the day before, though.
Yeah. It was actually super nice. I went in it. I mean, it didn't smell as bad as I thought it would. So whatever.
All right. So their solution for that is definitely have a backup transportation plan.
That's good advice for us too, as DJs. That's something that we don't think about, and it's something that I don't think about nearly enough. But it's kind of a reason that I bought my wife the vehicle that I bought her, because I still know that all of my DJ stuff can fit in there if for some reason my primary goes down. So that's something for us to even think about too. And as DJs, think about, you have to get to an event. What happens if your car breaks down? Obviously regular maintenance, make sure everything's up, like all those preventative things. But as you know, crap happens. And if it does, got to be able to figure it out. So
I'm guilty of the same thing. We're a minivan family. So my work van, and then her van has stow and go. If I need to take her van, that's what I'm going to take.
Yep.
So 7, baker drops the cake or your cake melts. Big thing is in the Midwest, if you're having weddings in July, August, don't get a giant buttercream cake. Think about the baker that has to transport that, try to keep their car cooled down. If it's 110 degrees outside, just maybe have a smaller cake in the summer months. In the winter months, it's not that bad. But heat is your enemy when it comes to the cake. 8, awkward family drama. This happens. I've seen it a lot. But
I have a story.
Ooh, Kyle's turn.
So I was doing a wedding, and somebody that the bride specifically did not want at her wedding, her sister decided, because she wanted to be mean, she would invite this person anyway. And there was, I believe they call it a cat fight. In the middle of the reception, not the dance, which unfortunately involved the bride, the bridesmaids, some other family members. It wasn't pretty. Kind of funny to watch, but unfortunate that it happened before anything else happened, because after that, I would say 3/4 of the people left because they're like, this is super awkward and I don't want to be here. And ended up, everybody was just crazy drunk to kind of forget about the night. And it was just kind of I'm just there to play music. Nobody was in a dancing. It was weird and awkward and not fun.
Where their solution for that is pre-wedding, talk to all parties involved. You know, maybe if it's a divorced couple and they're both invited, say, are you okay with this? Can you both be in the same room without ruining my wedding day? Also, talk to your vendors. Us DJs can really help out in that situation. Give us the heads up that, you know, have got two parties here that might not get along. Let's avoid any interaction with them. Maybe a family dance. We don't want to stir up stuff. So involving your vendors, there are ways that we can help you avoid confrontational situations. We're getting a little long here. Number 9, real quick, inappropriate or long toasts. And I think we're going to have an episode just on this. But being proactive, again, talking to the people that are going to give speeches at your wedding, setting an expectation, keep it under 5 minutes. You know, you don't have to give me a 25-minute speech. And then also talking to the DJ/MC, saying, I don't want them to go long. You know, there's not a lot of control that we have, but we can maybe give a hand signal or something if we need to. And the last thing is drinking and driving. So I've seen this improved a lot in the recent years. We're getting a lot of venues that it's a banquet hall with an attached hotel, which is an amazing idea. Those are always great weddings because people know they don't have to drive. They can stumble on up to their hotel room, you know. But also I've seen a lot of these trolleys or these transes that it's an added expense, but what's that expense worth to
Right.
somebody either
I've
get
seen
over or somebody crashing?
Yeah, especially like you said, we're in the Midwest here, and with a lot of the people who are doing the barn venue weddings and stuff, I've actually seen a lot of people that the barn venue, hey, we work with this transport company, we work with this, and to get people home, to get people to, you know, hotels and stuff like that. So it's a great thing. Please take advantage of it.
Oh, for sure. I mean, we see it a lot, especially like you said, the bars or the weddings that have open bars, stuff like that. I mean, for me, that's the most important one off that list, is making sure everybody's safe. I mean, that should always be your top priority.
Yep, I agree. So guys, once again, if you want any more on this topic, if you want any specific situations, shoot us a message. We've got a Facebook page. Check us out on Facebook. It's just @Hijinks. Again, be sure to like, subscribe, share, and we look forward to seeing you guys next week.
Thanks a lot, guys.